I was studying, so about a couple of years. It was about 83. I met this punk Indian. I was hard up for cash. I went to the Plaza Center,
Okay.
So I was down there, and I was telling you, man, he was a strange looking guy. He had his little ducktail,
Okay.
Punk Indian, And he goes, so I was trying to figure out who he was. I said, is he native or what? I can't tell. So we got to talking and stuff. I said, damn, that's the first punk Indian I ever met, And he says, hey, man, we can get some weed. Of course, I was still using back then. I said, yeah, my brother's got a contact. We'll get some. So he came back to the house and got some weed, and, we partied with this for a while.
Nice.
That time I was like totally depressed because, I was drinking more because I was depressed and wasn't happy, trying to work. And I just kind of stressed out, man. I just trying to do too much. And so he goes, hey, man, why don't you go hitchhiking on the road with me, man? I said, what? You nuts, man? Leave my home, nice bed, food to eat, warm house. What? You're crazy, man. I ain't gonna do that. And I said, But then, I was just so miserable, man. My dad bought my car because he knew I'd been drinking a lot, and so he basically saved my life, because had I been still driving that car, could have killed myself or somebody else.
Exactly.
So it was really bad time. So, and then I said, man, I'm just tired of Omaha, man. So I said, Creator, why don't you send Ed back, and I'll go this time, So sure enough, come summer, he comes back into town. So we're out partying and visiting, and then he's all busy talking, and then, hey, Ed, so I'm ready to go on the road with you, man. Didn't hear me,
Yeah.
So I said it again. Hey, Ed, man, I'm going to go on the road, man. Let's go, I said, he goes, what? He stopped talking. He says, what'd you say? I said, man, I told you I'm going to go on the road hitchhiking, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he lit up. Said, oh, man, you won't regret it. We're going to have a good adventure, blah, blah, blah.
Totally.
But it's always hard to get a ride when you have two guys. Because, one person is usually ideal, but it's hard. It's harder, he was telling me.
Yeah.
So we started out trying to go east because he wanted to show me New York, where he was from.
Nice.
Brooklyn and all that.
Okay.
We all got as far as Des Moines, and then it's like we hit a wall.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get no rides. I said, damn. I said, you know what? Now we should go to the West Coast. I said, okay, that sounds good. So we hitchhiked back here to Omaha.
Oh, wow.
I said, let me get some food stamps, and, we'll get some more stuff. So we hit it on the road, and it was kind of hard getting out of Nebraska, but we've got some little wise, and finally we got to North Platte. That's when we hit the gold line. I was praying hard, man, because we needed rides. Then we hit the jackpot with this younger couple from Indiana. They are moving.
Okay.
With their kids, so they had some room in their truck, so they put us in back there, and
Nice.
we had to ride all the way to San Jose, California, man.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They wanted to know more about Native stuff, so we visit with them. And
Yeah.
so Ed, he was Sioux, Cheyenne, Arapaho, and Welsh.
Really?
His dad was blonde, blue-eyed Welsh guy in service,
Okay.
and his mother was from Pine Ridge.
Okay.
His mother was down there in Oklahoma visiting her relatives, the Southern Cheyenne, Arapaho there. And then his dad was in Tinker Air Force Base.
Okay. Sure.
So they hooked up,
Right.
They had him, and then she went back to South Dakota.
Okay.
So we were raising him. He was like maybe 4 years old, little baby half breed, and
Right.
and then what happened was that she was trying to get some beer, and I guess she probably went to White Clay, one of the border towns.
Right.
She got ran over.
What?
Hit and run, So she was dead, and so he was an orphan. And none of the other families or relatives wanted him because he was a half-breed, So his dad had to come clear from Brooklyn on the Amtrak and came to pick him up. And he still remembered. He was telling me, he's like reliving the whole experience like a little kid, jumping down on the seats in the Amtrak, he's all remembering it. I thought, that's really strange. It was something else, man. But, so he was telling me the whole story, and I go, wow. But he was like a little budding musician, and he wrote poetry too, which was really neat.
Okay. Yeah.
But, he's kind of like, Creator sent him to get me out of Omaha, so. So we were on the road, man. I'm telling you, we had some really interesting rides. This one guy who was what do you call that? There was a guru that had a community in Antelope, Oregon, named Rashnishi, I guess. And he had set up a commune or a community there, and they started taking over that whole little town over there.
That sounds a little bit like a cult.
Yeah, and then they were like, so anyway, what happened was that one of the ladies that was in charge under their guru, she was really corrupt. She was all money hungry, and she started doing stuff, and there's a lot of money that was involved, and they started buying all these expensive cars and stuff, and for the guru and everything. Of course, she had a lot of nice things, They had a big community. And pretty soon they had a big scandal and stuff, and the locals didn't like the fact that they were taking over.
Yeah.
So finally they end up closing them down,
Yeah.
And he took off back to India, and all them followers, they were like, what,
Right.
where do I go?
Exactly.
So we got this ride from this guy. He had a nice Volkswagen van. He had a pretty good weed too. I said, hey man, we're gonna get this good ride. So he's telling us the whole story. So I don't know what to do, man. What am I gonna do with my life? I lived that place almost 7 years, blah blah blah. It was all messed up and stuff. But he finally, he gave us a good ride, and he went on. And this other guy who's in California was gonna go up through the redwoods. And this one, it was a nice truck, So he gives us a ride. He said, okay, man, I'll give you guys a ride. So we both get in there. He gives us a little disclaimer. Said, no, don't try anything, man, because I've been shot at, stabbed, and everything, blah, 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 And I'm going, I mean, if he's thinking that we're going to do that, but he's taking a risk, but then he's telling us this, and I'm going, this is weird.
Exactly.
But we were still high and stuff, so it was like, okay. So, we had some good stuff. And the guy was driving fast because he was like, I want to get this trip over with. I don't know if he was tripping or not, but so we were going through the highways in Northern California like that. I mean,
Whoa.
Fast speeds, man. It was like kind of scary.
Right.
So Ed's getting all like, oh, we're going to crash, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I said, man, I was feeling good. So I said, hey, man, just relax, chill. We're just going to warp speed, so buckle up, It was so funny, man. That was one of the things. But we did survive, and so there were times when we had to sleep underneath the bridge. It was pretty cold.
Oh wow!
And then this is a good one. I got to write this stuff down, but I haven't wrote it down. But so we're in this overpass on one of the highways or interstate. And so we said, okay, well, we're not going to get a ride this time, so we'll probably get ready to crash here or something. So we're there. No, I saw there was like this little brown bottle there and some, like a little stick and some colored cloth or something, I'm going, what the heck is this? Somebody had left it there. And I said, I wonder what this is, I looked at it. opened it up, you know. Man, ooh, that smells bad. So yeah, I don't know what it was. So later on, so we finally went to sleep, you know, and I fell asleep first, and then he was kind of okay. Finally fell asleep, and then he goes. He said, "Man, I was trying to wake you up, man." And then you opened up your eyes, but it wasn't you, man. And all I remember was that I was out of my body. And I said, "Man, what the fuck?" You know, I was possessed by a bad spirit, okay? That was what's in that bottle. You know? And I just go, okay. So I called on the red-tailed hawk to help me. And I said, "Hey, I need your help." So I could see him in the corner of my eye. He comes down, dive bombing. And he grabbed that spirit, knocked it out of my body. And I got back in, and I'm going, "What the hell?" And Ed's eyes were big as saucers, saying, "Man, that was crazy, man. When you opened your eyes, it wasn't you, man. I knew it wasn't you."
Wow.
And he was all freaked out, blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Yeah, that's what's me now, man." So then what we did was, so yeah, I think that spirit's still around. So what we did, we sat back to back, and we both had crystals, okay? So I gave a crystal to him, and I had one. So, okay, if you see him, just point the crystal at him and shoot him, you know? So we're looking. But see, Ed had his third eye, you know, kind of open, so he was able to see more than I could. So we're looking. So next thing you know, he grabbed it, shot that thing. It was coming, running toward him, you know, and he just shot it right in the midsection. He goes, wow, like that, and it kind of doubled over and then disappeared. It was gone. Got it. And it was funny though, because he was saying that there's all kinds of these spirits that was watching, you know, what was going down and stuff. He was saying that was unreal, man.
Yeah. Did the spirit ever say who he was or why he came?
No, he was just a real dark, maybe red type of spirit or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, I don't ever want to experience that again.
Yeah.
That was just one of the experiences that happened, man.
Could you? I mean, if you want to, could you? Okay,
sure.
I love this.
So anyway, okay, so another time, so we finally made it to the West Coast, and then we're living there. Oh, I had gone to this gathering. I met this Buddhist gal. So, I got so-and-so's number. Okay, I'm gonna look her up. Sure enough, she was in San Francisco. We looked her up. And I looked at, I think I got a phone number there too. So I called her up, said, "Hey," forgot her name now, Shelly something. Said, "Hey, we're in San Francisco, man. We'll look you up." Say, "Hey," I said, "Yeah, come on over." So her and her girlfriend had an apartment there. And we said, "Hey, man." She said, "Hey, just make yourself at home. We got to go to work, but you guys are welcome. Whatever food, watch TV, So we crashed there, for a few days. And that's when Ed, he gave me I call it the San Francisco baptism. So he scored some microdot, some LSD, acid. And so he goes, "Yeah, I got you." And I just knew. I said, So he took a whole one, and I said, "No, why don't you just give me half, I'm being smart, I'm not dumb." So I took that, and he took a whole one, and then, man, I started feeling weird. Started spacing out. Then he started playing with me. He started telling me about my fears, and scaring me, like that.
Yeah.
And I go, "Damn, man, quit doing that, man." And then I start playing with his. I say, "Hey, okay, man. Yeah, I'm just going to get you." Got him all freaked out, too. Tit for tat. And then at one time, we was like going all through the night. And then he says, "Yeah, I'm going to ride the ley lines, I go, "What?" "Yeah, the little energy lines that go across the the earth, called the ley lines. So I'm going to rope when I'm going to ride it. So he goes like, throws up the rope, he's grabbing, he's like riding it, man. And it's like, man, he got something, man.
Yeah.
And he's just riding it. I go, damn, man.
Wow.
I'm freaking out, man. It's like, what is this guy doing, And then towards morning, it was getting like sunrise, and so we're on this hill. Yeah, I guess it was close to a monastery because some of these Carmelite monks come out, One of them came out, at sunrise, Oh, interesting, And the thing is that we were kind of just watching him, and I go, okay. And we were just talking, visiting. And then I don't know, it was like, hey, I think there's something over there. So he went close to this wall here. And it was almost as, I don't know who did it, but I don't know if the monk did it or somebody else. But it was like written in blood. It says, written in blood, LOVE. I said, there you go. I said, wow, okay. And that was kind of weird and stuff. But yeah, so we had we did it twice, but both times are okay. Oh, the other time we did, okay. So we were downtown in San Francisco on Market Street, the main drag there, and there's like a Carl's Jr. there, There's this nice place where they had fountains. So they're like little bricks of cubes,
Okay.
So Ed goes, yeah, this place is like an energy spot because I can tell, I can see it, see the energy around us. Okay, I don't see nothing, He's
Right.
so, man, this guy's tripping or something.
Yeah.
So he goes over, he says, yeah, it's right around here. So he's all excited. Yeah, I found it, blah, blah, blah. And he says, yeah, come and see it. Don't you guys see that? He's trying to tell everybody else around it. And then next thing you know, man, the police noticed him, and he was carrying on about that spot, and thought he was crazy or something.
Right.
So they went over there and says, hey, sir, you're going to have to come with us, So they arrested him.
What?
And I'm just going, oh, shit, I've turned my back.
Right.
I don't know this guy, man. No way, I didn't want to get thrown in,
Right.
So I'm like this, and pretty soon they're gone, took him away.
Yeah.
So that was like a Friday.
Okay.
And I said, thank God
Right.
I didn't get thrown in. So I went back to the apartment. And then I said, man. So I said, man, and I felt bad. I said, man, he threw him in. So then what I did is that next day, what was it, Thursday? Well, it was Friday. I called in. So I pretended to be like a lawyer or something. And I called him and says, wow, yeah, I was calling about Mr. Ed Bimbo. Bimbo is actually his name. He hates it when I used to call him Bimbo, but it was Bembo. Okay. So I said, hey, I'm calling about him. I said, what charges you got him? Well, he was kind of just disturbing the peace, whatever, blah blah. Well, I don't think he's really a danger, And I went on like that. Well, I don't think he should be hold him. He's harmless. I said he couldn't hurt anybody. Just sounding like this lawyer.
Right.
And then I got done. Hey, the next day, man, they had him out. By Monday, actually.
Wow.
Monday, they let him go, man.
Really?
So he was lucky, man.
Good work, John. Yeah. Did a good job.
So we were on acid there, watching Star Trek and cartoons. Man, I'm telling you, they never looked so good. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's like something else. So there was my San Francisco baptism experience. Well, yeah, we had some good times there, and then so we were thinking about. Oh, okay. So this is when I finally I heard about the Baha'i Faith when I was in Omaha. And so I was following up on that. So there was like a Baha'i center there in San Francisco. Started going there. they had presentations explaining about the faith, and they showed some videos, and they had a discussion group, and so I started going to that, you know. And then he came a couple of times, you know. And then I said, well, and then I heard that there was a Native American Baha'i gathering in Vancouver Island. I said, I got to be there, man.
Yeah.
I got to find out some more of these Native Baha'is. So I said, okay, I got to go. So I only had food stamps and then had a little backpack. And so we decided to take off, you know. So we got up there as far as about just outside of Portland.
Okay.
And then, we slept there on the side of the road in a field and stuff, and had a dream about his parents, you know. And I could hear them talking, a man and a woman, you know, talking. You know, I said, hey, you're gonna have to let him go, man. Yeah. He says, yeah, you gotta let him go. He's gotta go his own way.
Whoa.
So that was his mom and dad. So they were both dead, you know.
Yeah.
And so the next morning we got up, and he says, yeah, hey John, I gotta talk to you about something. I said, yeah, I know.
What?
And he goes, yeah, mom and dad came to me in my dream. He said that we got split up, man. I said, no, I didn't want to, man. I really didn't, because we were tight, okay?
Yeah.
Creator knew that's the only way to get me out of this crazy town. So, so okay. So he got a ride first, of course.
Yeah.
I guess he went to Canada. I guess I don't know. Then I got into Portland.
Yeah.
Went to the local Indian Center.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting. I'm sitting in line. You know, see the director. You know, this one guy. I don't know if he was part drunk or he's just, he was angry.
Right, yeah.
You know how they are, you know,
Yeah,
when they
come
come
on.
with something, and he's all cussing around, all angry and stuff, blah, 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 and giving them a hard time, and asking them for some help or this and that, and then he just said, hey, man, I can't help you, sorry, man, you know. So he left, you know, and then so I went up there, and I'm just kind of disheveled, you know, I've been on the road, and I'm real humble, and I'm just like, okay. And he said, well, what can I do for you? And I said, well, so I'm traveling, and I got to see, I'm going to Seattle, and I need a bus ticket, you know. And he said, he said, you know what? You came to me in a good way. You're not like that other knucklehead. And, you know, tell you what, I want to get you a ticket, you know, get you over to Seattle. I said, oh, that's cool. So I got to ride on a Greyhound there. So I had my little backpack and my bedroll, and got there, and I finally got in to Seattle. It's like at midnight, man. Downtown, went to Pioneer Park, which is kind of on the wharf there in the waterfront, and it was kind of peaceful around. So I said, I'm going to sleep here, you know. And right there, you know, you could see the Space Needle. I don't know if you've ever been in Seattle, but man, this Space Needle, it looks just like a UFO, man. It's beautiful. And I go, man, that is so weird. I said, that's cool. So I spent the night there, you know. I got my sleeping bag out, and it's all wrapped up, you know. It's like, nobody bothered me. There's another place, too, I slept at, Pikes Peak, you know.
Okay.
But no one bothered me. That was so cool, because I was, like, protected, thank God.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was homeless there for a little while, and then I met this guy. He was some young white boy. I was in the university district. You know,
Okay, sure.
UW, they call it.
Right.
So this is in the 80s, okay? So music videos just come out, MTV and all. So that was a big craze, you know, like, yeah. So was it MTV came out 83, 84? So the big thing was to watch music videos, you know. Instead of the jukebox, you had the music videos, yeah. So I go out there, I said, didn't have much, but I had enough to buy coffee and a donut, okay? So I go over there, put some coins in there, and I So, oh yeah, let's listen to the 80s music, you know. So I put all my favorite ones on. So that's how it started my mornings, you know. So I'm there and I'm on one of the buses, you know. So I'm going from the University District downtown, you know, because they usually had free food, you know. They feed you down there, so I was going down there. So I'm riding the bus, you know. So this white boy comes up and says, "Hey, are you native?" You know get that.
Yep.
"Are you native?" "Yeah." "What tribe?" He started a conversation and told him where I was from, what tribe, all of that. And he started talking. He said, "Yeah, I know some Lakotas, blah, blah, blah. I know this, you know. I know some Navajos." I said, "Oh, okay."
Right.
Start talking away, and then we got downtown, you know, and got to talking, you know. And he goes, "Where you staying at?" "Oh, I'm over here at the shelter, man, downtown, you know." I said, "Oh, yeah. Why don't you come to my place and, you know, you can come and visit, you know, stay with us, you know."
Wow.
"Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I was hungry, so yeah, you can feed me, okay. So we took off. It's a little town called Issaquah, just outside Seattle. So we got there, and then even the town, their house was outside of the town. So it was a beautiful wooded area. They had a nice little stream going by. We finally got there. It was kind of a architect designed home. It was like, okay, this is pretty cool, isn't it? So it was just him, his brother, and his dad that lived there, you know.
Okay.
So I got to stay with them. And Mark Hall was his name. His brother Lonnie, and his dad Harry, yeah.
Okay.
So Harry worked for Boeing, had a good job. And then Mark, he was the only one that was Baha'i, but you know, his brother and dad weren't. But so he took me in and says, "Yeah, man, we just crash here," you know. So we got to talking. We'd be talking, and Mark's been doing. Oh my God, that guy was something else. He was really into Jim Morrison of the Doors.
Yes.
He's like so into him.
Yeah.
His hair was like him. He would dress up in the leather and all the whole bit, man. He was like Jim Morrison crazy. Like he said, "Yeah, he's my favorite guy." And then he said, "Hey, man, you ever see the lyrics of some of these songs?" I go, "Interesting." Anyway, so he's really into that. And we talked about that, music and stuff. And then he was really into the spiritual path. So he was into yoga, the martial arts. So he would, you know, show me some of that. And then we actually went to a Chinese temple.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. That was so cool. And then we got initiated into a meditation way. This guy from India and some of the local people there. And I remember now, this is a good one. So, so we're going to get initiated into this new meditation. So we go to this this house where this guy was teaching us the meditation, and so we're going to get initiated. So them guys have been there before, so it was my first time. So they introduced me, you know. Says, "Okay, you know." So we all sat down and had the little pillows and they had incense going. Had a little chanting going on a little bit. So okay, now turned off the music and said, "Okay." So we get down, we start breathing, we start meditating. Okay. So the head guy, the initiator that was sitting there, he was sitting like on that side, and we're on the other side, the three of us, you know. And he's, you know, really meditating, and then Chris is on this side. Kind of open our eyes, you know, because I hear Mark and Chris talking, and I said, they're saying, "Hey, dude, do you see that?" I go, "I don't know what they're talking about." So I open my eyes. "Yeah, man, I see it. Isn't that weird?" And I'm like, "What the hell are these guys talking about?" I says, "Yeah, take a look." So right next to the guy that was meditating, right to his other side on this side, there was like a portal, and it looked like the galaxy, you know, Milky Way swirl like that, the space. There was a space portal right there, just open.
Whoa.
And I'm going, you guys see what I see? And they say, yeah, man, we were talking about that. And we're just talking like that. And finally, he started saying, oh, man, you guys aren't concentrating, you know. And then he finally opened up his eyes, says, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And they're all looking like that, you know, big eyes.
Yeah.
Then he kind of like looked to the side.
Yeah.
He was freaked out.
Right.
I
Wow.
was like, whoa. Yeah, that was funny, man, because it was like, I mean, it was just like a synchronicity and everything lined up and that happened. I was like, whoa. I said, that never happened to me before, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just one of the experiences like up there, you know. And then, oh, yeah, this is the good one.
Mm-hmm.
So Marco says, yeah, we got a Bigfoot up here in Tiger Mountain. You know, it's not too far from the house. I said, yeah, right, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't believe him. So, oh, yeah, really? Okay, all right. So he went, well, we went in it when it was night, okay, so he said, okay, I'll show you. So we go up there, we're walking in a trail, you know, mostly trees, evergreens. So all of a sudden, there was no wind that night, but the branches of the trees would go like this.
Whoa.
And I said, Mark goes, you see that? Yeah. And we both had flashlights. I said, who the hell's doing that, man? I was trying to flash my, trying to look in there. I didn't see nobody. I said, huh. So we went farther up, and then this part of the mountain we went to, he says, yeah, this is kind of special. He said, there's like these couple of boulders, you know. Then we saw these, I think they were blue and green orbs of light. Like I think they were nature spirits, you know, they were kind of zipping around like that. I said, whoa, that's weird. I said, he said, yeah, man, that's the spirits around here. I said, okay. And he said, the Sasquatch, he's the guardian of this mountain, you know, he protects it, you know. I said, really? And I said, after that, I said, okay. So we start walking back, and once again, the branches like that. And I said, then he got kind of scared. He goes, Mark goes, hey, man, you think we should hightail it back and see if we can outrun him? And I said, you know, dude, it doesn't make any difference. The guys are fast, you know, they're going to get us, you know? So we just walked normally, and pretty soon there was no more branches waving, so we got back, you know. Then one night, I had a dream, and in my dream, I could see through my eye, I saw the Sasquatch. He was running, man, he ran fast. I was trying to keep up with him, you know, but man, he was fast. Then we was going to this shamanic drumming circle. This guy named Johnny Moses ran. He was learning some of the songs, and he would do, you know, spirit journeying and stuff. And then he teaches some songs. He had some teachings, you know, about different ways of healing, you know, things that are going on with us. And he would share some songs. So his friend, he was from one of the local tribes there. So I asked him, I said, hey man, tell me about the Bigfoot, man. He said, yeah, they're just another tribe of people. They've been here a long time, you know. I said, really? He said, yeah, they're cool. He said, they're all right. They're guardians. They're good. And he says, you know, I said, what if you see one or know where one's at? His best bet is to give them an offering. Of course, the way I was taught, you know, is tobacco, you know. And then he says, you know, though, they like deer meat. So, oh, okay. And then my birthday was about that same time in April, so a friend of ours that we knew, I guess he ran, I don't think he ran into it, but somebody had run into a deer, and it was like it was fresh though, you know. So, you know, basically it was just barely alive. And so he's okay, it's fresh meat. So he grabs it, puts it in his van, and he brings it over to the house we were at. And I'm going, he's thinking I'm one of these residents, you know. So,
Oh,
no, I don't know how to dress and butcher nothing. I said, man. So yeah, I got this Eskimo guy. He'll do it. I said so. He ended up giving me a quarter leg of meat and then the hide. So I got that.
Yeah.
He kept the rest, you know. So with that meat that I had, I was cutting it up in the sink, you know. We're gonna have some soup or we're gonna make some stew out of it later, you know. So I'm cutting it up. And here Chris and Mark, they're like really looking at me and their friend. I said, dang, you guys never cut up meat or anything, man? You guys are real white boys. I said. They was all looking at me like they never. I said, oh, okay. So later on, we ate some of the meat, you know, made a nice, you know, deer soup.